This week's podcast is presented by GK Calls, Migra Ammunition, Gibraltar Duck Hunters Association, Gibraltar Boatyard, Turtle Box, Gator Decoys, Hunt Proof, Cooler Guard, Pattern Pros, Hodag, and last but not least, I'd like to have a huge shout out to Brian Ellithorpe for all of the support that he does behind the scenes. Now let's get into today's episode. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Great Lakes Outdoors podcast. Before we get started, I just wanted to have a big shout out to Gibraltar Duck Hunters Association. They got a youth event, for youth season for duck hunter. What am I trying to say, Trev? They hold an event for the youth during the youth duck hunting season.
For the youth.
Yes. So if you have a kid local in our area, make sure you check that out. I think it's only a limited spot, so sign up quick. But yeah, Trav's keeping me up late and I'm all tongue twisted right now.
Dude, we got to just keep banging. That's the whole point of this thing. So we got to keep banging, and we're going to get these out for you guys. Because that's how much we care about you and love you.
Is that sarcasm from last podcast?
The banging part, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Okay. I just want to make sure. What's new? I didn't think you came back from a trip.
Yeah, long work trip last week. Got home and had the house to myself, so I actually got out back and got a little bit of work done. Hung some cameras, already producing with some deer, so which is nice to see. Got some brush hogging done. It's still really, really wet out back, so I almost decided to get it stuck yesterday. I decided to pull out and be smart. Yes.
That's a word puzzle like this podcast. We got banging and pulling out. Let's see what else
I pulled the tractor out of the mud. I mean, I don't know what else. What other word you want me to use? Back out? Chicken out?
Pulling out of the mud doesn't sound much better. Just saying. FYI.
What does that mean? I don't know what that means.
Well, I'm just saying you're pulling it out of the swamp back there.
Yeah, it's probably swampy back there.
Yeah, must be hot out too, huh? Swamp.
Little swamp. The grass was high. Had to cut it. Had to mow it down. But I was out back getting that done yesterday. Got as much as I could get done, clearing some trails, just twiddling my thumbs, ready to get tilling and get some seed in the ground. I did actually hoarded a bunch of Hodag stuff to get out for some of the cameras, hopefully be in this week, and then ordered a bunch of seed to get in the ground. It's supposed to be 95 in Michigan this week for 5 straight days or 4 straight days. If it doesn't dry out enough to get on it, I don't know if it ever will. Because it's supposed to be 95 and then it's supposed to rain for 2 straight days after that. So I have a small window here to get some seed in the ground before it gets wet enough to be unbearable again.
It's going to be brutal with this heat. I mean, we haven't been used to it at all. We've been pretty fortunate this summer, honestly.
No, it's been a pretty mild. I mean, it's been warm I think it got warmer earlier than it did last year, but it hasn't been like unbearably warm. It's been like in the 70s and 80s, but this is going to be the first week of where it's going to be. You can't be outside for too long.
Like as a kid, I feel like I remember like the winters being super bad, like a bunch of snow, and then now you don't see the snow. But I also remember I feel like it was always 90 degrees outside during our summers when we were younger. But now it's a week, 2 weeks of 70-degree weather, wearing hoodies in the middle of July. It's just, I don't know, it's weird.
Yeah, I mean, growing up, in the summers, we always spent our times on the lake we had a speedboat and a jet ski. We were always on the lake doing that. And then the winter times, we were on doing snowmobile trips and stuff like that. And then as we progressed later in life, with it just, the weather didn't cooperate to have either of those items to maintenance them and for permits and stuff like that. Like if we're not using them as much as they should be, because the weather didn't permit it, unless you're going up to the UP for the winter, or traveling for.
The northern section obviously gets a lot of snow, but I mean, down by us,
they might still have snow. I don't even know.
They very well possibly could. It's just weird, when people down here want to buy snowmobiles and stuff like that. Like jet skis, I could see in our area. Obviously that's way different. But I don't know. I don't even know if jet skis would be that much different because that water stays cold, dude. I'm not driving no jet ski out there. Forget that. There's guys out there not ice fishing, jigging for walleye on jet skis now, and it's how are you? No,
those things are badass. I don't know if you've seen them, the actual fishing jet skis. I can't remember. I think Sea-Doo makes them.
Yeah,
but they're sick, and I would definitely buy one in a heartbeat.
Those ones are sweet, but the little ones that people are just going out there and just not everybody has 40 grand or whatever those things cost, I guess is what I'm saying. Like the
Yeah.
fishing ones. Um,
Maybe this podcast will get big enough we each can get Great Lakes Outdoors fishing jet skis.
yeah,
That'd be pretty cool.
pretty cool to go like bass fishing in the summertime.
Hey, we're on the right path though. I mean, I just wanted to give you congratulations on the podcast of having our first viral video. I mean, I guess it would be probably thank Lauren for that video, right? Or were you
Yeah.
videoing it?
No, Lauren sat out there for 5.5 hours.
Yeah. So let's thank Lauren for our first viral video.
Yeah, our
It's
first.
been
We had a
no,
handful.
you gotta let me first in a while. Like we had
Oh,
that, we had a couple, we had a pretty good stretch there, about a week and a half, where we had videos hitting 100K or 50K there, and we had one hit 1 million. But this was the first one in a year or so that we've had actually blow up and have the comments and just the attraction to it. I mean, it's a sweet video.
yeah, I was surprised, man, because they just put that wood duck box up this year, and from what I've heard or hear is that wood ducks will like bounce around to boxes if they're too close and lay almost like a dummy egg, so others don't nest there. So you could have 15 eggs in one box, but they're all just dummy eggs from different wood ducks. And I don't know for sure, but that's just what I've heard. So I was kind of nervous until I went on the dock one day and she flew out of the nest like at night, kind of. But I knew like
Hmm.
it was, I guess. Um, I don't know. It's pretty cool just to see like her building a nest. And I wish Lauren's camera was working on the inside, but um, I don't know. It's pretty neat. And for her to sit out there for that long, it was nuts.
No, I was on that work trip when you sent it to me, so I didn't really look at it. And you had sent like a text or something to me about like the video blowing up. And I'm like, what video's blowing up? And then I saw the video because I just had saw the wood duck in like the hen poking out of the box, and that's when I just saw that, and I was like, oh, cool picture, like
Right.
that's cool.
Yeah.
And then I saw the video. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's like National Geographic-esque video there.
And it's funny, man, because it's funny how many people commented on that and was saying how like it's not real and that's not going to happen and the box is too high off the water and just everything under the sun. I don't know. It was nuts, and I guess it was kind of cool to give people, like, I guess, like let them know or teach them. I guess that ducks or wood ducks could actually do that because everybody was like, "Oh, that's a AI. How do they even get in the box? How would they even get back in the box?" And it's like, all right, listen, they don't get back in the box. Probably, in all honesty, half of them aren't going to make it because fish or whatever else, turtles, whatever. And yes, the hen will fly into the hole. She's got wings to fly in to that spot. I don't know, but it was all pretty cool.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's something we probably should like. Did you make that box or did you buy that box?
so my grandpa actually made that for them for their wedding. So it's
That
got the
that
name.
would that would be a cool video to make because I don't know if you've ever made one before, but it's like the hole there. It's got to be a certain dimension because it fits only the duck getting in there. So like if like an eagle comes by or something like that, I mean, of course they could probably poke in a little bit, but it's meant to
Right.
for only that wood duck to get in, and then the the slats on the inside, or you had metal meshing on it for them to climb up, and then having the sawdust a certain level in there so it's not too high and not too low. I mean, it's a cool little
So
system they have there.
I don't think they put the sawdust in this one actually. I think they kind of the duck itself, and there was some sparrows that were actually building a nest, and I think the duck kicked
Oh, really?
this
Oh,
out. Yeah. So I think she put all the bedding and nesting like down into it.
oh, okay.
And I think there was what 16 eggs. I think there was, or I think there was 16. Or maybe it was 17. I don't know, but there was 15 babies that jumped. One was a little messed up and wasn't able to leave the nest. And a few days passed and didn't make it, unfortunately. And then there was one duck that didn't hatch at all.
Oh, wow.
But 15 babies jump out of that thing for the first time. First year it was up. It was pretty cool.
No, I mean, I think I've watched that video like 100 times. It's so cool just seeing them fly out. Like, just they're not flying. They're just going. They're praying that there's something soft below because their
I
mom did it. You know.
It was one of those things where it's like the belly flop almost even like there's just all wings out. You can see their little feet sticking straight back and like
Mm-hmm.
something
Mm-hmm.
like that too. Like I couldn't believe or couldn't like even begin to think if I was just born. And I mean, I guess luckily I'm jumping into the water, but you don't even know what water is or anything. Just like it's crazy how fast wildlife's instincts kick in, I guess. They
Yeah.
just
I
know
mean, and
exactly what to do.
in some of those like nests, like some wood ducks don't nest in wood duck boxes because there's not that. I mean, they're not everywhere, right? So they're nesting in trees or whatever. Some of those ducks should be jumping onto dry land from that
Yeah,
high.
for
You know?
sure. There was another comment that said that they usually have a nest about 20 feet up in their tree every year, and they find, unfortunately, the babies just can't make it because it's too high up there.
Yeah.
Um, But yeah, it's I don't know. It's a crazy thing to think about, and to even think about how the ducklings know how to climb up the mesh, or like it's almost like a chicken wire that we put into it. Not like mesh because I feel like mesh would get them all tangled up wise. But like how they would even know to like do that even,
Yeah.
within or what did it say? 24 hours is usually when they leave the nest, and that's how she kind of knew they were going to jump that day. um, so I don't know, it's just crazy how fast they just adapt to everything.
Just that wildlife instinct kicks in
Right.
and they just go for it. Have you seen them around the dock or seen them around at all?
No, I mean I
Or
haven't looked
Lauren?
with my boat being out of commission with yesterday. I didn't really get a chance to look. We had a boat parade yesterday, and my boat had a little bit of problems. And I'm gonna assume with the boat parade going through that they wouldn't be in there because I mean wood ducks are pretty skittish. I feel like compared to like mallards wise. But if I had to guess, they're probably in the back canal somewhere, hiding
Getting
out.
eaten up by pike and largemouth.
Possibly, possibly. But it's
Yeah.
just crazy. I thought about this too, where it's crazy how, in all reality, all animals, not just ducklings and stuff, but how they even make it. I mean, like baby turkeys, like poults and fawns, whatever, how they make it with everything out to get them when they're that young. Like you said, I mean, you're not only just worried about from above, like eagles and stuff attacking ducks or whatever, but you're also worried about what's underneath you, or even I don't
Yeah.
know if like, mink or whatever. Just it's just crazy how anything can survive in reality.
I mean, you could put it together like with like a human baby, right? Like, could you imagine like if there was no civilization, we were like an animal, and that's how we came into this world? Like, what our survival rate would be? Be
Be
There'd be
nuts.
none. Yeah,
Right. It's just crazy how quick those animals could adapt like that. Even like fawns though too, with like their eyes like turning like that bluish color, and it's just nuts how everything works if you really take a step back and look into it a little bit. And I
yeah,
guess I knew it all, but like and I thought about it multiple times, but just really seeing those ducks jumping out of that box like that, or seeing the videos that she sent us that morning, was always pretty crazy.
yeah.
No,
I know
like
we've been training our fawns out back to be very skittish because I've been the last couple days I've been taking Brody out back, and I know there's a fawn out there, and so I've been trying to keep a good eye on Brody while he sometimes ventures off or I forget about him. And today, me and Connor are out back riding around, and I look over and a fawn come running by me, and sure as shit, Brody's right on that fawn's ass chasing it. And I had to freaking yell as loud as I could to get that dog off that. It wasn't on the fawn. The fawn was far enough ahead, but just to stop him. But yeah, we're training them to be track stars back here.
yeah, where'd all the deer go? I don't know. Ask Brody.
Yeah, because I mean that new camera I moved, the camera I put up yesterday. I had twins on it today,
Oh,
twin
really?
fawns. Yeah, first picture I had on it was twin fawns. I was like, wow, that's sweet.
We had one fawn out, but when we were doing the blind, which I'll get into in a little bit, we had coyote pups out in the field. They were like all the way on the other side of the field, but you could see them all running around and stuff. And I haven't seen
Really?
that. Yeah, it was pretty crazy to watch them. Ryan got a video of them, but I haven't seen that fawn anywhere. Not saying that she didn't make it, but we've been seeing a lot of bucks in the area, not a whole lot of does, which is kind of scary for me. Um, but I just hope that fawn actually made it through. I mean, it looked like she was
Yeah.
doing pretty good for about a week or two. I hadn't seen her back.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like for fawns, at least, like it's that first couple weeks that's like the pivotal part. But like after a couple weeks, they are already sprinting and running and doing their thing. You know, they're still pretty dependent on mama, but they're pretty
Right.
they're pretty resilient animals.
I mean, that's up north. The ones. I mean, they're jumping all around, chasing each other. I got videos of them, and then The one down here, it was running a little bit, but you can kind of tell it still had like the baby giraffe leg kind of thing, where it
Hmm.
was just trying to figure out how to run almost. So I don't know. I mean, a good positive thing I guess is I haven't seen like a fawn by her or a doe by herself or anything.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. We'll
I
see.
know I know for sure the one out back here can run. So
Yeah, you found
that one can run.
that's for sure. What when you said you set up new cameras? I seen the video today that you posted.
Hmm.
From the video that you posted, it looked like you had it like behind a bunch of like cattails or phragmites or kind of just separate from the field.
So that's the closest. So that's a part of the field, but it's so wet over there that the farmer can't get over to till it under. So I took
Oh,
a weed whacker as much as I could, um, and weed whacked quite a bit of it down. Fortunately, I'd got out there and realized there was like this much string left on the weed whacker, and I'd
gotcha.
walked like 700 yards to get there, and I'm like, I'm not walking back to the truck and driving back home and then walking another 700 yards. So I texted the neighbor, the one I have permission for a turkey hunt, and he's gonna let me drive. I can just drive back there next time. So I'm gonna go back out there here this week and get it all weed whacked down and get it kind of nice and open there. Because
Awesome.
that's where I had shot my buck at last year, and that was all. It was low. It was not wet enough to where they still tilled it last year, but this year it's been so wet they weren't able to till over there.
I gotcha. I was just curious because when I seen that video, like I thought to myself, "There's no way that his phone is just not blowing up from all those phragmites and cattails moving around back and forth." Because that hodag, we put that stuff out the other day, and the branch we got some winds, and the branch actually blew over. So I went out today when we were finishing up the blind, and I put a new branch in it and put some tassels on it, and I knew for a fact I thought to myself, like, this camera's gonna be going off nonstop now just because of the leaves and the wind. And sure enough, by the time I got home, I had like 30 pictures of like leaves moving around. Um, and I got it
Put it
on the
on
lowest
single
setting.
shot. Put it on single shot burst with a minute delay or 2 minute delay on it.
Right. That's yeah. I mean, I got it on the lowest setting. I'll tell you, I really like the Moultrie cameras. Honestly, it's done real good for us. But yeah, it's hopefully this heat kind of shrivels up them leaves and maybe even drop 'em. I don't
I don't know.
know. We'll
I
see.
feel like with those you want the leaves on it though, right? Like you want it to be like a natural standing tree that they're coming over and licking and rubbing their
I
antlers in and
Because it's more of like the tassels that you're putting on it and the scent that's on the tassels, right? Like the Hodag all season scent.
oh, you're putting the
Um,
tassel on that.
yes, yeah,
Okay.
yep. Um, and if you think about it too, I mean, I've seen people put like just like round, just not a 4x4, but just like a round, thick piece of wood in the middle of their fields for like the same scenario kind of thing, or just put like
Yeah.
random branches out in the middle of the field. Like Ryan, when he came out there the other day, he said that they put a like a 4x4 in the ground or a 2x4, and then just hung a stick off it, put a hole in it, and hung a stick off of that, and put it out in the middle, and they were
So
hitting
my
it like crazy.
That's what my dad does
So I
on his
mean,
property.
does it need the leaves on it? I mean, I don't necessarily think so. I just think it's something different that's sticking out, away from the woods that is gonna get their attention. I mean, I had a nice buck on it already, like, tonight. Um, I mean, it wasn't, making a scrape or anything, it just kinda came up to it and nosing it, but, doing the job already, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, if you got the tassels on it, I think. I mean, yeah, it's you could take all the leaves off it. To be honest, they could take everything off it as long
Right,
as there's something on there for them to send to it to lock onto.
right, and I don't know, I got an old rope out there that I don't know if I wanna redo because I hung it too low not knowing, and the coons got to it, and it's all shredded on the bottom, so I gotta maybe tie a new knot in the bottom of it or something, I don't know.
Hey, it could be bears. That's what happened with my dad's rope. He the last year he had a scent rope hanging up, and there would just be a bear batting it around, ripping it down, doing whatever it wants with it. So
That now, I guess the hardest part for me is, like, in the scenario of I don't wanna say the Hodag stuff because it obviously, like, brings them in, but, like, I have so many low-hanging branches along the tree line, um, I guess it's hard to kinda pick and choose. Actually, I went through today, um, and cut some of, like, the low branches down so there's more like, less of them, I guess, to kinda minimize their opportunities to make scrapes
mhm.
all over the place. Because I mean, every probably 30 yards there was a branch that was, or like a group of branches that were hanging so low that it'd have been perfect, spot to make a scrape. Um,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if I were you, I would be trimming up the trees that are farther away out of range and leaving the ones in and putting a couple ropes on them, and yeah,
right,
minimize the area where that they can scrape at.
right. So we got to we got to go out there one more time and kind of finish up. So next time I go out there, I think we're gonna take a pole saw and really trim some stuff up. Maybe move a stand or two, and hang a stand up in that woods, kind of where we kind of hung that one last year, but like in that little wood lot right there.
Oh, okay, yep.
It's super open. I found a spot in there, and it'll be easy to get into. Like I said before, the hardest part about that property is getting into the field because the both trees, like both woods, is basically like islands. So I mean, all those deer, and I got pictures of them yesterday. Actually, like sleeping or bedded right on the edge of the woods. So I mean, that they're looking way far out and able to see. I mean, that's how those deer get big out there. You know what I mean? So it's just hard to find good ways to get in and sneak in and sneak out per se.
Yeah, that's gonna be. I mean, we talked about it last podcast with it being beans this year, I believe, like you said. It's gonna be tough. So you're just have to find the time frames with it, and getting in early and leaving late.
That's going to be the thing. Just playing it smart in reality.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I brought it up last podcast too. I think last year and years prior, getting out there hunting too early in the year when it's like 90 degrees outside and getting that scent out there already is bad. And just because there's not deer in the field doesn't mean they're not on the edge of the woods looking into the fields and waiting. And I feel like, if you got a doe in front of you, which I did, like I was bad last year for sure. But if I had a doe out there, I wouldn't be like too nervous to jump in that doe out and spooking her out to get out of the stand wise. And I think in reality that kind of messes it up too in a sense.
Yeah, I mean, any disturbance is gonna make a mark on that area. Like I had my camera up, put it up yesterday. I had a picture today with those doe and two fawns, and I had a picture, and I have a stand over there, and the doe was looking up at the stand
Hmm.
where I'd been at, and I'd only been, I think I'd been blown at that stand once, and then I shot my deer out there. So there's been like two disturbances, and that deer is already figured out from the scents and me just being out there working that there's something different, out there. So minimizing those disturbances is going to be huge.
Well, I think that's where the saddle hunting comes in and helps out so
Oh
much, being
yeah,
able to get around and be able to move around it with the trees. Uh, we were talking about that today, and I guess it's an expensive thing to get into if you haven't got into it and don't really know too much about it per se. So it's just hard to pull the trigger on spending that kind of money, I guess.
yeah, and I have so many buddies that saddle hunt too, and they want to get me into it, and I'm like, I feel like I'm gonna be swinging up. I feel like I'm just gonna be up there swinging, like swinging around. I have, because I mean the mobile hunting is so, it's like you said, it's a game changer, right? Because you're not gonna hunt in that same tree 20 times that year. Like you're not gonna have a ladder stand. It's not gonna be brick and mortar. You can move from tree to tree to tree depending on the wind or what it is. So it changes that dynamic of the hunting element. Or you can go out to public. You can do whatever.
Right.
But it's so much easier being able to walk out, have a stand already set up, especially with us, starting to get into the filming aspect of it. It just makes everything so much easier with it.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Just have it set up, and I don't know. We'll see how it goes this year. I think there's a couple stands that we haven't even really hunted yet that will be better this year, more like better than others per se. But we'll see. What makes me nervous right now is that we have, like, I'll have to send you a picture of it, but there was probably $15, I'd say, out in the field tonight, and I'm nervous that they're summering there and not gonna stay there for the fall. I'm sure some of them will, especially if we can get all the work done that we want and not disturb it at all. Um, I feel like they would have no reason to leave at that point, but I could
Yeah.
be wrong.
I mean, at one point it has to do with the does, right? Like, and you said you haven't seen very many does out there. So that's going to be a huge element. It's going to be the does during the rut. and then the food source, right? If you
Right.
got beans, like there usually isn't much left over after I mean, there is in some areas, right? But like once that food source is gone, hopefully you got acorns in the woods, stuff like that. Maybe bring those deer back in the wintertime. But once the food source is gone, that's what I found in my opinion, like out here is like once the food's gone, the deer are gone. So
Right.
having some type of food source for those deer in those stages where there might not be just ag food available.
Well, and that's what makes it tough for us too, because when we do the food plots, it's in a spot. It's like a corner of a field that he plants, but I don't think it grows obviously very well. So we take advantage of that open spot and kind of make it our own little food plot. But when he harvests and tills it or discs it, he ends up disking that as well. So it's like, well, it's only good for that time frame when the crops are up. And
Does he
depending on
put
how
winter wheat down? Like a cover
so
crop?
he I don't know if he's gonna do it for a cover crop or just like the nutrient side of things and then, turn it over. I don't know for sure because I know or what I do know is he said last year that he's probably gonna be getting away from like the whole wheat scenario. I just there's probably not a whole lot of money being made in it right now.
Mm-hmm.
Um and I it seems like a lot more farmers are actually going in that route, even the ones with cattle around us. So I don't know. It's gonna depend in reality.
Because I wonder if he, depending on when he discs it under, if you like, depending on the timing on it, if you went and bought a bag of winter wheat that grow or oats that grows super quick, you just go out and throw it out there in front of the stand. It doesn't take much to prep it if he's already dissed it, and it's not going to be super invasive on the field.
That's the hardest part too. We got to be careful with something that's going to be invasive on whatever he plants out there.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. I don't think it would be invasive on
Right,
it.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a thought for sure, for sure. Um, I don't know. There's a lot of acorns there. I mean, it holds deer obviously all year. I mean, that's where I shed hunt most of the time, obviously. So I mean, there's always deer holding out there. Um, but I don't know. I guess this is our second year with the beans, so I mean, we'll see how this year goes. And who knows if even if it's a wet fall, maybe he won't just get under right away even, who knows? Who knows what's gonna
Yeah.
happen? It's hard saying.
Yeah, I mean, like for me, I'm super excited for this year. Like with, like on not even on the deer side of it, but on the waterfall side of it, just with how wet it's been out back, and if we get some more rain and that fills up again, like I don't like it might hold ducks. We might have a little duck hole back here, so I'm super excited for that. That's why I'm hoping it gets dry enough to plant it because I got some like millet and stuff coming in that I'm gonna
Okay.
plant out there and some sorghum and hopefully get that in some areas where it's a little bit wetter at, and so hopefully that grows and brings in some ducks or get it opening up enough for where there's some geese that can get in there, and
That'd be nice.
the sky's the limit.
That's one thing I was gonna ask you too. I mean, I feel like it's been a pretty wet summer compared to previous years.
Mm,
Um, and I'm hoping it is because the one flooded spot's supposed to be corn this year, and I'm hoping it holds all the water it possibly can over there, just so we can have another good season over there. So yeah, keep on bringing on the rain for sure.
yeah, but I need like a week of dry so I can get back there and till. But after that, it can rain as much as it wants.
Well, I mean, it's going to be dry this week for sure with this weather.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm pretty dry. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Everything will be super dry. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not looking forward to this heat for sure though. It's going to be way too hot. It's gonna be miserable, honestly.
No, I want to sit in the AC and just nap the entire time with this heat. Because with me, my fair skin, it won't be good for me.
I'm just lucky I don't work outside, man. I don't know how these guys. I mean, I feel like I'm babied now with an inside, and I don't know. It's gonna suck for those guys working out in the heat.
Hopefully, someone are on vacation this week. But yeah, it's gonna be brutal. Let's take a quick breather from the action. Let's talk promos. Grab 25% off Hunt Proof with code GREATHP25. Save 20% off Cooler Guard using code GLO. You can take 15% off your order from Hodag using code Great Lakes. And take 10% off Pattern Pros using code Great Lakes 10. Now back to the show.
Going back to the blind, we've always had this pop up blind. I say pop up, but it's got like the metal frame. It's a redneck blind with a canvas around it. You've seen it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So for the last couple of years, we've been talking about building the platform for it because every year it seems like the deer are just kind of looking straight into it when we're sitting in there. Um, so we actually had kind of crazy. Our neighbor ended up having a gazebo where it had 4x4s at like all, four corners, going across 4x4s, going down four by
Mhm.
four. He wasn't using it, so we were able to grab it from him and put cross members on it, put joists on it, and built a platform right on that. So I think it's 8 foot up in the air. Um, so we went out. What was that? Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday we went out there and hauled the wood out, got the platform started, and ended up getting poison ivy all over my face. And so that
Hell
was
yeah.
sweet. And every time I sweat now or I'm out in the heat, it just like flares up again. So yeah, that's been super fun. And I don't know why I just get it on my face and that's it. But it
Hey,
sucks.
it could be in worse areas. It could be in worse areas.
Well, I never said it wasn't,
Like on
but
your feet, like on your feet, Could be really bad on your
yeah,
feet.
yeah, that's feet would kind of suck for poison ivy, honestly. But
Hey, before I just had to bring it. I just thought of this right now. I just needed to get it off my chest. So it's been another week. I just wanted to check in on this because I was thinking about you crossbow hunting out of there, but I was like, wait a second, he's going to be bow hunting this year. So I just wanted to check: is it something you can bow hunt out of? And also, two-part question: how's the bow? Are you getting it restrung yet, or is it still a next week thing?
so I'll get into this, okay? I'll get into all this. So we ended up putting the blind up on the platform today and
Mhm.
got all that done. We just got to buy or not buy, well, yeah, buy more wood and then build a ladder to get up into it now. So the blind, you can shoot a bow out of it, whether it's a crossbow or a compound.
Yeah.
Um, And with the B and B's this year, I'm excited because we'll be able to actually look more into the woods and down the field edges, and it should be really nice. Honestly, we're gonna get like a rubber mat underneath it to kind of just keep all the heat in and stay off that wood. Um, but with the boat situation, well, let me even backtrack. So what was that Thursday? I think it was Thursday. I got a call that my deer was done. So I put half of the money down. So I owe a little less than half, I should say. I owe a little less than half. And so I was going to pick that up this weekend. And with the boat being stuck and us pulling it out and tearing it all apart and not knowing what it was, and I was going to drop the bow off and get the deer today, but we got out to the field at I think about 6:30 ish, quarter to seven maybe, just to try to beat the heat, and then got done about 9, and then I was working on the boat until 3, and it ended up being literally something that we didn't even have to pull the boat out of the water for. Or, I mean, we tore the whole lower unit apart. We tore everything. We thought it was the
Mm.
cables, it was the dog, whatever. It was. We were scratching our brains about it, and then it was literally just basically tightening something down, like the linkage on it. So I'm glad I didn't have to spend a bunch of money on that. But yeah, I was more of the story is no, the bow's not done. I was supposed to do it today, but the boat got in the way.
Okay. So
The
what's the
whole
timeline now?
it'll be let me think. It'll be at Ryan's place, Emerson Archery in Monroe, by the 4th, I'll say.
By the 4th? He's working on the 4th?
Well, I don't know if he's working, but I can at least drop it off, I hope.
So you got a couple days still. Okay.
Yep. And hopefully it
Alright.
doesn't take uh, too long with it so I can start practicing with it.
Well,
It's one of
let's just start with you getting the bow into the shop first, okay? Let's
It's
start
one of
with
those
that.
things where it's almost like going to the gym, right? Like it's one of those things for like the shooting aspect of it all that it would be nice to have somebody to shoot with, um, and like go to the gym with to kind of like push each other wise. So my buddy Ryan was like, well, I'll start different. Ryan was like, yeah, I'd love to start shooting more. And I was like, all right, let's start shooting a lot then and get after it. So hopefully we'll be able to kind of push each other to start shooting. I guess
That
I don't know. I'm
that'll be
looking
good.
forward
That'll be
to it.
good for you. That'll be good for you. What you can do is if he doesn't wanna shoot with you, we can just set up a we can FaceTime each other and we could shoot virtually together.
I wonder if there's an app for that. I bet you there is. If there's not, there probably will be within the next few years. I'd say like there's a lot of those competitions and stuff like that, like a virtual
Mhm.
like thing where you can play between buddies and stuff. I think that'd be pretty sweet actually with
It's
bow
almost like
hunting.
you could do it like the Strava. I don't know if you heard of Strava before, but it's like a bike riding app, and you can, like, like compete against friends and how far you ride and like your miles and timing and stuff like that. It could be something similar to that. Like
I
you,
think it'd be not a
hey,
bad idea, honestly.
we're trademarking it. So if anyone wants to, we're doing it first. All right.
I don't know if we are because I don't know if we're that smart to make an app, but I mean, we could say we are.
We know some people though. They can help us. We'll just cut them in
I
a
mean,
little bit on it.
we do, but I mean, that's yeah. I don't even. I could barely even log into the email half the time, so I don't know how that's gonna work out. But I think that'd be pretty sweet though, because I do feel like maybe it's just because I'm getting into it more, but I do feel like the bow hunting aspect of it all and deer hunting is getting more and more. Um, I don't know. You see more and more people doing it. Maybe does that make sense, or do you feel that way?
I mean, I don't think so. I think it's been heightened a lot recently. I feel like the deer hunting regime is a lot of old boys, right? So it's a
I don't
lot of the
know.
guys. What's that?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like I feel like there's a lot of old boys that don't like that are on social media, so you don't see it as much as you think. And then and with this whole stuff that happened this year with the rule changes, you see a lot of people come out of the woodworks that I definitely don't think have a Facebook or know what social media might not even be. You know?
Well, I just feel like with like the total archery challenge or whatever that is up in Boyne, there's all those people that go there, and then with the saddle hunting, and there's a lot of people going out on state land now. I mean, I just feel like think about it. Even for turkey hunting, you see a lot more people shooting bows doing that. So I mean, I just feel like it's in my own opinion, you're starting to see a lot more activity in it, I guess. And I feel like people are getting more into the 3D shoots again, like it used to be. There used to be a couple even 3D shoots around the house here, and they all shut down. But I just feel like you're seeing it more and more. But like I said, it could be just me getting into deer hunting more and recognizing it more too.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like that. Like it's like in waves, right? Like bow hunting used to be the thing, and then like crossbows came along, and everyone's using a crossbow now. And I
Right.
think it's getting back to maybe differentiate themselves. Like I'm the true hunter. I use a bow type of thing. It could be something like that.
Well, I mean, I feel like that's everything nowadays. Like I'm the true, going old school per se with it all and being more natural or whatever. Because I mean, look at the people that are using sub gauges, which I mean, I was using sub gauges as well this year, but for turkey hunting wise,
Man,
and
you're so
how
cool.
how how well no, because I missed twice this year on with my 410. And not to, like, call myself out, but, I mean, technically, you could almost say I missed 3 times. I missed that bird twice because I forgot there was a double safety on that gun. So, I mean, you could hear the trigger click, but
Yeah, I would say that's 3 times. That's what I would say.
so me and Ben are getting more and more alike, but,
I didn't. Oh, I did miss one this year. You're right. I was gonna say I didn't miss one this year, but yeah, I did. I don't
did
count that as a miss though. I don't count that as a miss though, because that was a
wait,
stupid
what?
shot.
Oh, yeah, yeah, you did shoot. Yeah, that's a miss.
It's stupid. It was a stupid shot. It wasn't a. I don't. I shouldn't have shot. I think it's. I don't count that as a miss. I shouldn't even have
It
shot.
it is crazy if you think about it, how many opportunities you guys get over there every year, and it takes you guys, like, to the last week to shoot your bird, which is fine, but, like, you had that one bird, like, a week prior to that, that was 5 yards away from you that, you were recording, obviously, but you guys
I
get a lot
shot
of
at it.
opportunities too.
I shot at it
Just
as it was running away from me.
I'm just saying, like, you get a
If
lot of
that makes
opportunities.
sense. I had one opportunity. I know I had 2 opportunities this year. The 5-yarder that I decided to wait and shoot it at 40 yards running away. I don't know. And then the bird I shot. I mean, there was a lot of screw ups this year you might be thinking of, but not birds in range
Alright.
to shoot. There was a lot of screw ups. Always screw up.
I mean, that's turkey hunting in general, in reality. To be fair, I mean, that's a lot of it. I don't know. What hodag stuff did you buy this year? Because you bought some
Um,
stuff last year, I think, too, didn't you?
yeah, I bought a ton of stuff. I bought like 6 or 7 ropes and then some scents and stuff. This year, I'm gonna try to reuse the ropes that been up there and see how that works. So let you guys be tuned in on that. But I just bought some scents, just the all season scent to start
Okay.
with, and we'll see how it works to start with. And if it's not holding the scent or if it's the deer aren't hitting, I'll buy a new rope.
I actually did you leave yours out? I did too, and I feel like that's the way to do it. I feel like it is just for them deer to like, they're always hitting it and freshening it up themselves. So after a while, after they get used to it, you don't really need the scent in reality.
Yeah,
Um,
and probably if probably on the instructions or on the back, it probably says to keep it up year round. It's probably what it says, but
well,
we probably need to misread it. But
I mean, I had deer. I remember last year. I think it was literally the time I was driving home and my motor blew in the truck. But that day, I hung a rope up in a different spot, and I had deer on it that night. Um, and there were some spots where maybe I was hoping that the deer would go there more, and it just wasn't in their like their route, I guess per se, like in
Mhm,
their it was just too far out of the way for them, I guess.
mhm.
Uh, that I didn't get a lot of action on it right away, but I don't know. I mean, there's I feel like you can't just hang it up and they're gonna come right to it. I mean, some of them will check it out for sure, but I don't think the first year you can really expect too much if you do put it, like, out of the way, I guess. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah, it does. I would say I would agree and I mean, because you might move that, it might turn to a hotspot, right? Like,
Yeah.
like, it really depends. Like, I think all my trees last year I put on were in different like, they weren't I mean, they're on routes, but they weren't a spot where they were rubbing or scraping, and by the end of it, they were on there rubbing or scraping those
Yep.
trees.
With your rope, do you put, like do you get it down to bare rope underneath it? Like a scrape, or do you just leave the rope up?
Say that one more time.
You, like, make, like, a mock scrape almost underneath the rope? Okay. I do too.
Yeah, yeah. Like, the one spot that's in the flooded area, it's been water for most of the year, and even with the water in there, those deer were coming up and smelling that rope. So they I mean, the mock scrape, part of it, I don't think is really a factor. It could be, but having just some type of scent there is gonna be big.
Well, when we had the podcast with those guys, I believe I might be mistaken on this, but it's more of a like your dog peeing on a fire hydrant type thing to kind of just see what other deer are over there or that have been hitting it, like a communication kind of post almost.
Yep.
And I'm sure obviously during the rut, it'll turn more into a scrape per se. But I think it's just more of like that communication thing of it all.
Yeah, the whole point of it is just to, "Hey, I'm here.
Yeah, right.
Here's my scent," type of thing.
I don't know. I've enjoyed it. I've used a lot of tassels too. I don't know if you had any tassels.
I
Um,
use strictly the tassels. I didn't buy the big long rope. I just have the
oh,
tassels.
okay, I gotcha. I gotcha. Yeah, I like using that a lot, and I put that spring out there the other day, and then put tassels on that as well. And like I said, I had deer hitting it tonight, and I was kind of surprised because we put that blind up and making a bunch of noise, screwing down, cutting boards, and we actually ended up like just spray paint. We had some extra spray paint laying around, so we spray painted like the wood to just kind of darken it up. Not that we
Mhm.
had to by any means, but and with all that scent out there, I was pretty surprised that all those deer moved through this evening.
I mean, deer are smart, right? Like, they know that it's not I mean, they probably don't know, but, I mean, they do know that it's not hunting season, right? It's like with, like, the turkeys after season, they'll come run up to you. Same with deer, like, it's gonna be they know when that's not really pressure time, you know?
Yeah, and I think there's a difference too. Like last time when we first, what was it, Wednesday, we put all that stuff out there. Like I moved cameras and changed some batteries and cameras. And we were more active like in the woods per se. And that's probably where I got the dang poison ivy at. And I'm trying to think, dude, I can't remember what I touched to even get it. Because I mean, we were out in the field more, and it was one of those things. I woke up like 2 days later, I started feeling it, like just it wasn't popping up on my face, but I could feel it like there still. And oh man, I just knew I messed up that day. It was
Yeah,
horrible. But
thankfully, I haven't had poison ivy before, so I don't know what that pain feels like, and I never do.
we had poison oak last year.
Who did?
You did, didn't you?
Mm-mm.
I thought we both did.
Just you.
Oh man. See, I think I got something wrong.
You got something wrong with you, man.
Well, because I think I got it on my face that year too. I'm telling you, like, the last couple times I've got it, it's been on my face. I don't know why. I mean, I'm probably wiping the sweat away or whatever, but I don't understand why not, like, on my arms or something.
That's why now, like, that doesn't matter what the heat is. Like, I'm wearing pants and long sleeves
Oh, for
and
sure.
gloves.
Or
Like, it sucks, but like, it just the only way I can feel safe without getting poison ivy or poison oak or
for sure.
ticks or whatever.
Have you seen any ticks lately?
Not in the last couple weeks. There was one I had pulled off Brody. Um, maybe it was 3 weeks ago, but I
Hmm,
haven't. Like, I was out in the woods working all day yesterday. Didn't have a single one on me. So
strange. Kind of weird. It was like a big outbreak on how dangerous these ticks are this year and stuff, and then now all of a sudden they're kind of just done and over with.
I think
Not, th-
doesn't that happen every year though? Like, I feel like you kind of lose like the springtime is like, oh, ticks are everywhere, and then it's like you kind of forget about ticks. Maybe
Well,
it just never doesn't. I don't see them or whatever, or it's not highly ticked area, but
I
you
mean,
kind
to
of
be
forget
fair,
about them.
like, you are in a different scenario where you live on your property and, like, you got woods behind your house, so you're out there quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, after we finish up the goose blind, we got a little bit more work to do on that. I don't know if I brought that up on here too. We redid one of our permanent blinds. Like, the whole
Mm-hmm.
roof was, getting messed up, and so we've been doing that. But once we get done with the goose blind and the deer blind, and kinda just I might go back in to put some new batteries out there, if they run out. Uh, but I'm kinda out of the woods after that, so, like, you don't see them probably because there's not a lot of people out there. It's just like that bear that we had downstate here, like, no one was really seeing it anymore or has even seen it again, but at the same time, no one's really out in the woods like they would be in the fall time.
Yeah,
So, I
that is
mean, that's
true. That is true.
one of those things. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I was gonna ask you something else too. I don't know. What is going on with the deer regulations right now, man? Because I thought they were pretty much done with they voted on the $1, and then now all of a sudden you sent me the other day to earn a second buck in certain counties. And I guess I just don't understand what the vote was to make it a $1 state, but then being able to change it back to earn a buck in certain counties. I feel like what they're going to do is they're thinking too hard into it, and they're going to confuse a lot of people, especially the people like that are on the borderline of the counties and stuff. And I just feel like it's going to be even harder for them to manage this earn a buck scenario. Um, and I don't know. I feel like it's almost becoming too much.
Yeah, I mean, so the earn a buck was a part of the legislation when they enacted the $1 rule. So it was hunter's choice in the UP, $1 in the northern part of lower Michigan and middle Michigan. I think those are two different. Maybe they're both one zone. But then southern Michigan was a $1, but they were going to run a pilot, 1 year pilot on earn a buck. So I can pull up the map here because they just came out with what counties are going to be earn a buck, but it's just like you said, managing this is not going to be. There's got to be something that they know that we're not thinking of, because first of all, if we were a $1 state, right, and the UP had their hunter's choice, which is the $2, me and you could shoot our bucks in our county, drive up to the UP and shoot our second buck. That's
Hmm.
totally legal there. So that's one thing there. Now with the earn a buck, so for 27, 28, you could shoot, because I don't know, are you in any of those counties? Are
Yeah,
you
yeah,
in?
yeah.
So you're in one of those counties. So like so my dad is not in one of those counties, so he could legitimately shoot his buck and a doe in his county and drive down to my county and shoot his second buck. So when some of these counties here, like your Hillsdale, your the Kalamazoo has good deer in it. Barry has good deer in it. Like, these are some big buck areas. I'm glad that Jackson's not in there. I'm also glad that what's the other one? Is it Tuscaloosa or whatever it is over by you? Like, those are some really big buck areas. So I'm glad they didn't do it in there. But still, like, it's gonna be interesting. I'm interested to see how it works with this.
Now, the map that's on the screen right now, it's small for me to read it, but do the colors mean anything different? 'Cause I see a couple purple, blue, yellow, the red. Does that mean anything differently, or is it just
I do not, because I don't think there was a. I didn't read the caption, to be honest with you, so I don't know that. But so on the left hand side it says treatment counties, and the other side's controlled counties. I don't know what the difference are between the two of them, but I know that all those counties will be a part of it. I'm not sure to what extent. But I'm really interested to see how it's going to play out, because I know they're trying to model it after the state out east. What state was it?
Pennsylvania just went $1 not that long ago? I
Pennsylvania,
know.
yes, Pennsylvania, yeah, Pennsylvania. They're trying to model it after that, and that's what they did, a $1, and it seemed like it worked really well. But I don't know. I think it's gonna go have an opposite effect with these $1 areas and the earn a buck and hunter's choice. Because if there's no way to control it, no way to monitor it, then I don't know. Because people can just put in, like, you have to, when you check in your deer, you can put in a county, but they can just check in whatever county they want to check in, right? Like, I guess that's another part of it too, is I can shoot a deer in Oceana County, but check it in as Kalamazoo County, couldn't I? Or is there mapping behind it? Like, I don't know.
I mean, not trying to tell the poachers what to do, but I mean, I guess that's, I mean, a
Like, I don't know.
scenario that would be.
So it's really interesting to see what's going to happen, if it's even going to happen. I know that's what one of the rules that was passed was to earn a buck, but that's so much time from now until then that something might change, right? Because I just don't know how they're going to monitor it unless they have some type of, you have to take it in, check it in somewhere. I don't know.
So the questions that I would have for that would be, one, if you are in a earn a buck county,
Mm-hmm.
are you limited to the size of that deer that you could shoot at that point? Like, you know how your combo tag, like, you know, it had to be 3 or 4 on one side or whatever, but the one didn't matter. So I wonder, like, could you shoot 2 spikes at that point if it was an earned buck?
You won't be able to shoot spikes anyways, because there is the APR attached to the one buck, I believe. So
So
it'll be
I think,
3 on a side for your one deer anyways.
oh, I didn't think there was an APR for that.
Yeah, I thought there was an APR attached to it. I could be wrong.
Now, you know, I think doe management can really change your bucks in your area as long as everybody's on board. I mean, they've been saying it for years. You know, you got to take care of the does, and you'll see the bucks too. But I mean, the goal is to get bigger deer in Michigan, correct? I mean,
Yeah.
it's basically trophy hunting. Like, they want to make it more of a trophy state, per se.
They want to make it a desirable state for people to come out of state to hunt.
So, yeah, I mean, trophy state. I mean, they're going to say that, but they're going towards a trophy hunter. In all reality, now this might, I guess, get a couple people upset or just thinking, but don't you think that if you were to change something and we get bigger bucks in your state, that one thing that you could really think of and look at right away would be a doe only youth season?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not for it. I like
It's
for me, it's tough, right? Like, for me, I want the opportunity for my kid to shoot a deer when it's easier, right? Like, because I had that opportunity as a kid. I want my kid to have the same opportunities I had. It would be kind of cool to see maybe that youth season move forward, maybe move it into archery season, maybe like when it would be. Like, it's tough. Like, I understand what people are coming from with it. I just don't like it. I think there is positive effects to it of having a doe only archery season. I mean, a doe only youth season. I think that only thing that's going to do is push younger hunters out.
Now, in my opinion, you're either going to hunt or you're not going to hunt growing up. I mean, I feel like that there's really no far and few between. Like, you're either going to be hooked on hunting because, you know, your parents or your grandparents or uncle, aunt, whoever got you into it didn't push you so far into it at a young age that you don't want nothing to do with it. Which there are some of those kids, but you're either, I mean, kind of born into it or you're not. You know what I mean? It's one thing or the other, where I don't think a lot of youth at that age is going to get out of it just because they got to shoot a doe and not a buck per se. Yeah, you know, I think, you know, a lot of the problems with less hunters, in my own opinion, is like the um hunting camps up north, and, you know, or wherever you hunt at, there's not a whole lot of that going on anymore per se. I feel like, I mean, there still are, but I mean, I just don't think it's as big as it used to be, obviously. And I felt like that was when, like, the traditions and stuff were really strong in the hunting world for deer hunting in this state. Um, but like I said, I don't think it is a sink or swim situation where if you just shoot a doe, the kid's going to get out of hunting. I mean, I think it would make a lot of kids realize, like, or want to go after a buck at that point or afterwards, being able to see him out in the field and um, want to do more to try to get that buck maybe. But it could be the other way around too.
Yeah, I mean, like with social media nowadays, I mean, it's you shoot a monster buck or you're not doing it right. Like, you don't see the doe harvest like that, and that's one thing that's not very polarizing or not very like, wow, that's awesome on social media is the doe harvest. And I think maybe maybe bringing light to that might have some effect on that for the younger generation. But I think the younger generation, they see their dad shooting it, they see their grandparents shooting it, they want to shoot that too. And I think,
go ahead.
I was just saying, in shooting that shooting that buck during youth season has a lasting effect on a kid, where it's like, I want to do this either for the rest of my life and I'm addicted, or it might turn away from it because it's like, ooh, I shot a deer, nasty. But I can't really relate to it because I was raised in the area in the time frame where you could shoot a buck and you can still shoot a buck. But I can't be like, my thought process has changed. But as a youth, I would say I want to shoot a buck.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what you grow up seeing, chasing the big whitetail. And now let me ask you this, in your own opinion, which same with me, like I can't have an opinion on I don't have I shot my first deer during the youth season. It was a little 4-point buck. And like you said, you were kind of just born into the hunting world of it all. But if you went out, and I guess I don't have a kid either, obviously, so I can't really have too much of a say, and it's just like an outsider's viewpoint, I guess. But if you were a kid or a kid today and shot, let's say, a 160 out in the field with your dad or grandpa, uncle, aunt, whoever, and it's like the biggest deer that's ever came out from that area, and it's like a once in a lifetime kind of thing. I personally feel like there'd be more kids that are just done with it after that than or would go a couple more years and realize like that buck was like once in a lifetime deer, and then kind of lean off of it after that, compared to if you were to shoot a doe or even a smaller buck. I mean, I think those kids like want and certain understand it, but like just one or the other right now. If you were to shoot a doe, it would get you more intrigued to go after that buck in the fall time.
Yeah, and
Like,
I think
feel like
I was just saying, I think the biggest thing for me is if a kid shot a deer like that, is them having the understanding of how big of a deer that is. And so when I just thought about this now, but maybe because like kids nowadays, they can start deer hunting at like 5 years old or
pretty young.
earlier, which is insane to me that you're having a kid with a rifle at 5 years old, but to each their own. But maybe having like the mentored program, if you're a mentor, it's a doe only program. And then once you take hunter safety and you hit a certain age, then it turns into a buck or doe situation.
I mean, that's it would fall back to one of those things where like it's an earn a buck thing, where how do you like manage that though? You know what I mean? How would you tell, if there was somebody with that kid or whatever it may be? In my opinion, it would just be hard to maintain that or maintenance that, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I guess for you, when you were in your youth season, when you're youth hunting, how many bucks did you shoot during your time during youth season?
One.
Okay.
I think
shot
1 year for my youth season. I mean, I went out when I was growing up with my dad and my grandpa and uncle and stuff, but
you only hunted one time for a youth season?
I believe so.
And I think for me, from hunting from 10 until like 17 or something. I don't know what the age is, but I only shot 2 bucks in that time frame during youth season. So is it an issue? Like, I know there's some people out there that shoot a buck every year, a kid. It's happened to our neighbor, his daughter shot monster bucks in the youth season every year. But how realistic is a kid going out and shooting a monster buck every year?
I mean,
I don't know.
I don't know. It's just one of those things where I feel like, if they're wanting to get this more of a trophy hunting state, more, recommended state to hunt in, especially with all the state and federal land that we have in the state. And I think it's like one of the top states on it, if I'm not mistaken. I think we even have more state and federal land or public land than even Ohio by like a ton, I believe, which is kind of crazy to think about because I mean, there's a lot of people that go down to Ohio to hunt. But I don't know, it's pretty crazy. But if you're wanting to make that more of a state that like out of staters want to come to, I mean, the youth season might be a big thing, and it's kind of crazy to me too. Like last year, they tried to do the doe only youth season, and that lasted like 2 weeks, and they flipped it right back over, and it was like, what the heck? Just even like you didn't even give it a shot at this point, which was crazy how fast that flipped, and didn't even seem like it had to go through anything. Like I don't know, it was pretty wild, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. Like I want changes to make our hunting better, but with the youth season, it's a tough chord for me, especially with being a dad and having a kid coming up that will be doing that soon. Like, I want to give him every opportunity to shoot a deer, and I think taking it away from the youth is selfish on us. And I know there are people out there that use their kids to abuse it and have them shoot these deer and are out there at 5 years old. And I'm not knocking it, but it's just like, I don't think I'll have Connor out there at 5 years old hunting because he just doesn't understand. Like, a kid that young does not understand what taking a life is. You know, like, I didn't understand at 10 years old, you know, so.
Well, I brought it up before too with like Glenn when I talked to Glenn about taking his son out turkey hunting this year. Like, you wanted to buy a 410 for him to take him out, and he's like, I just don't think he would completely understand it. Where like if he did shoot a bird, um, he'd probably be on his iPad or whatever, 10 minutes later, and not even think twice about it. Like, I want him to fully understand like what it takes to get a bird, and I want him to get to a point where he's like begging me for me to allow him to let him go with a gun out there. So
Yeah.
I think a lot of the youth, the mentor, I don't want to say ruins it, but like just
I
take
would say it ruins it.
Yeah, I guess I just wasn't trying to be like too brutal with it, but like, yeah, like ruins a lot of the kids, like taking them out too young and not understanding like that, like the greediness of it all overweighs the what could be, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's like with me growing up, like, I went with my dad, as soon as I was able to, and I earned my opportunity to hunt as I got older, right? By putting in the couple hunts a year that I went with them, to go hunting and getting up in the morning and turkey hunting and deer hunting and stuff like that. Like, you earn it. Like, at 5 years old, like, it's just, that's tough.
Right.
Like, I don't. And I think that it could be a little bit of a selfishness on the parents too, right? Because, like, I could even see it with my dad, right? Like, where it's like you get your kid a deer during youth season, and now I can just go hunting now, right? And that's just not the way I feel like it should be. Like, maybe it's selfishly on the parents, right? It is, but like, if we're trying to teach our kids the right way to do things, it just doesn't happen that quickly every time.
Right. And I guess I feel like with that even though too, like if you were to do a doe only, it would make those kids want to go out there during the fall time. If they shoot, let's say even like a 110 buck, like an amazing first deer for anybody.
Sure.
A good deer just in general. You know what I mean? Just that kid's not going to really have a whole lot of drive to go after that per se. I mean, they might because at that stage of their hunting career, the bloodthirsty kind of hunting stage, I call it. They just want to go out there and whack whatever. It doesn't matter. They just want to kill. Um, but some kids, I mean, they're going to shoot that and they'll be like, all right, I'm good. Like, I don't have to go back out until next year now. And it's like, that's not really why, that's not the purpose of doing the youth hunt per se, in my eyes. The purpose is to get kids involved more and want to get out there more. And, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, it's a very good debatable, point. I feel like I don't know. It's tough.
And it is, and I think this will go on for years and years until something changes, but I don't think it will, and then nor do I want it to change. What I would want to change would be to bump back the age limit on it. That's
Well,
what I
and
would.
I guess that was my next question. Do you think maybe instead of being able to hunt at 5 or whatever it is, maybe bumping it between 10 and 16? Because I mean, if you think about it, like if you're going 17, you're pretty much an adult at that point.
Maybe it was 16 this season because I don't remember hunting after I was able to drive during the youth season. So maybe it was like 15 was the cutoff or something, or 16. But
are you
still,
able to look that up to see?
yeah. Let me look it up.
And I just think it's got to get to a certain age where like you said, I mean, you're able to drive yourself out to a state land area and just go out there and set up on a youth hunt in September. I don't know. Like I said, it's tough for me too with not having kids, but I just feel like that would be one thing I would definitely look at if you're trying to make it a more or not. What's the word I'm looking for? Trophy hunting state.
Let's see, 16 or younger.
It doesn't have a minimum.
So ages 9 and younger children must be licensed through the Mentored Youth Hunting Program, which provides a package hunting license and requires a child to hunt under direct supervision of a qualified mentor. So
basically 9 through 16 then?
Well, 9 and below. So whenever that they get the Mentored Youth Hunting Program, so that could be 5, that could be 7, that could be 8. But when you hit 10 to 16, it's like a reduced junior base like you're like a junior hunting license type of thing.
Now, do you think like this might be stupid because I feel like I already know the answer? I feel like there's let's say I'll make it more of a statement than a question, but I feel like there's a lot more parents out there that are caught up in the social media even more than some of the kids are. That it's such a competition that I got my kid out at 5 and he shot a 180, and they are more stoked about it just because they can post it and like brag about it per se, on social media instead of doing it like the right way per se.
Yeah, I mean, they're if in that case they're looking for clicks, they're looking for to get a sponsorship deal or something like that. Like there was this one he's like a well-known hunter in Michigan. I can't think of his name, and nor do I would want to say it on here because I would be talking smoke about him. But his kid like got like the pure Michigan hunt. So and this kid was younger, and so like they were blasting all over social media, getting a ton of likes, getting a ton of follows and stuff like that. So I mean, they're just using that kid. I mean, it's an awesome experience. I'm sure that kid enjoyed it tremendously, but
Mhm.
I feel like there was an ulterior motive to that as well.
Yeah, that's just not right. It's not right. And I guess going back to it, like that doe only would prevent a lot of that even too. I mean, I feel like it obviously it could go both ways, but I feel like the doe only, there's a lot of positive. Yeah, it's taken a negative away, but the negativity of it, or like the negative aspect of it all, would be just like not allowing the kids to shoot a buck, and having that. But the positivity of it all would be, possibly getting more kids involved, the cloud aspect from the parents, allowing them to kind of maybe even like look at it more of an accomplishment just for a doe only and get them more into just killing does.
Yeah, I mean
Um,
that goes back on the parents, right? That's just going to be how they're
for sure.
raising their kid, right? Like if they got to teach them the ways of hunting, and that you're not going to shoot a monster buck every time, and shooting a doe helps the herd and does this and does this, but some people don't feel like that though. Some people feel like they shouldn't shoot does because that brings the bucks in,
I
so
f-
it's different teaching. Like the one buck rule, not everyone likes it. People hate it,
yeah,
because it's not how it's been. So changing youth season, which is going to be probably not as dramatic as the one buck, but pretty close. Like that's going to ruffle some feathers for
but I
sure.
think it's almost more. It's going to hit people even harder because I mean, look at last year. Like I said, it was here for like 2 weeks, and then all of a sudden it was just gone and back to the Bucks. I mean, obviously that was a big turning point for a lot of people with it all. I don't know. There's just a lot of ways to look at it and a lot of things. Like I said, I mean, I think there's a lot of ways to help your herd out per se and see more quality deer. But I think a lot of the people in the state use the excuse of my neighbors shoot everything that walks, so why should I wait anymore? And in reality, a lot of people don't even know what their neighbors shoot. There's a lot of people that do, obviously, like, they talk back and forth, but a lot of the people, I feel like they just kind of assume that they're shooting everything that walks. You just never really know. But they're gonna just say that and go after whatever they want, like deer
Yeah.
wise, I guess.
I mean,
And it's just an excuse, is what it is.
yeah. I mean, it's going to be a group effort no matter what way you spin it, right? Like it can't be like they do this, now I got to do like now I can do that. It's got to be a group effort on all fronts where we all got to buy in, and by unfortunately having to mandate a one buck is hopefully going to help with that and making it so we can have bigger deer in Michigan.
Did they say how long they're gonna run this for, or like
I
test it
mean,
out a few years? But then I heard like I don't know. I heard multiple things.
if we're running it now, it needs to stay, or if we take a season off, everything that we worked for is going to be gone.
Right. Yeah, I think at least like 5 years, honestly, in my opinion. Because I mean, 1 year you're really not going to see much of a change, or 2 years. I mean, I think it's going to be between 3 to 5 years. You're going to start seeing a big difference if it's the one buck state. In my
Yeah,
own opinion, that's what I would see a big change. And again, this isn't this year, correct? This is the following year, is
this
what
is
it
the
keeps
following
saying.
year. Yes, yep, yep. So this year is going to be a mass genocide of small bucks getting shot this year. So I would say
I think
5 years at a minimum to see if this project works. Which it works in other states. I understand other states aren't like Michigan, but we just got to see. I think it's worth a shot, and I'm going to go in with it.
that spike on my camera better watch out because I'm flinging an arrow out of my compound this year, Adam. I'll tell you that much.
Hey, and if it makes you happy, do it. Like I said, like
For sure.
like with you, this year was your first buck in forever. Like
Yeah.
I would have been happy if you shot a 4-point, a spike horn, a button buck. Like it's all about what makes that person happy,
For the
right?
last 3 years, I mean, in reality, there's been a lot of deer that I passed up, and you're like, "Why or what are you doing right now?" I mean,
100% it was.
I don't know. I'm excited though to get it back from a taxidermist too. I mean, this is my first shoulder mount, well, I think the biggest buck before this one was a little five. No, I shouldn't say a little 5 point, but a 5 point that we shot up north. And I think we just did a European mount, but did it by ourselves. So this is like the first taxidermy deer that I've gotten back from me personally. So I don't know. I'm excited to kind of check it out and hang it up
Send
on
me
the
some
wall.
pictures of it or put it on the social so everyone can see it. See your monster buck.
I will. I will. I was just showing a guy at work the other day about it too. I don't know. It's I'm excited for this year though, honestly. I'll have to send you I know I've been sending you a lot of pictures and people are probably getting annoyed about it because I've been sending you and I think I sent Ben a picture from that buck the other day.
I'm
I
just
just
happy
can't
you text me every once in a while because you never text me anymore.
whoa. I text you more than you text me.
Yeah, I know.
So I
I'm
should be
just,
saying that.
I'm just happy you text me every once in a while.
I should be saying that to you.
I'd said it to you first. No takesy backsies.
I don't know. I'm done with that.
You never call me anymore. You never do anything.
What are you talking about?
You never call
I
me.
called you like 8 times this past week. I know you're out of state, but I called you like 8 times. There had to have been some point in the day where you could have called me back. And
I
then I'm
texted
sitting
you
there
back. I
super
texted. I didn't call you. I texted you.
I wanted to call back. And I was super excited
Yeah.
about the video that I didn't even think my sister took. And you didn't even call me about that. You haven't even talked to me about that.
I wanted to wait for the
I
podcast.
guess yesterday you talked to me a little bit about it. But
yeah, I said this is end quote. This is what I said to him. That's sweet.
yeah, like what is that? Like that's just you might as well just say okay, period. Like put the period at the end of it because I mean
You know what?
that's what you
I
told
was
me.
I was jealous, dude. I was like, how can this dude here make and come to find out you didn't make the video. So props to Lauren. Thank you for helping your brother out.
I made the video. She took the video.
And the video is 99% of it.
Yes, you're right. But now I was upset with you today that I didn't even get like a face shot, like a video of you talking about what was even going on about the blind. We just all of a sudden see a camera and stuff. And then I thought I was going to have a conversation piece with you talking about like your little setup there, but we didn't even know what was going on there. So all I got to say is, yeah, you're stumped right now. Do better. That's all I got to say.
I'm trying, dude. I'm trying to make you proud. I'm sorry I'm not making you proud right now.
I lost sleep over it last night. It was either that or the boat, but it was probably the boat. I was freaking out, dude. And for it to be a 5-minute little fix, it sucked. Could have got my deer today.
Sound like it was a 5-minute fix.
Well, no, it was more of like, what was that, a 5-hour fix?
That just needed a nut screwed down.
Well, so there's a linkage pin that lets the gears up top, or like my shifter cable up top, goes down to a rod that puts the lower unit in the gear. And there's a little like pin that holds the rod in. And so I had to pop the rod out, spin that rod so it sat up a little bit higher, and tighten it up basically. I don't know how it comes loose. I mean, over time, obviously, but like there's no way it spins by itself or anything. But yeah, it was a linkage pin. If anybody knows what that is, it's just it was super simple. And me and Jake
It
were
took
both
5 hours.
Yeah, because we thought it was just the whole lower unit. Like I said, we took that all apart and we're looking at the cables and just everything. And
You know what? I think I just figured it out.
What?
It's a conspiracy theory, but I think I figured it out. You're like, instead of taking my bow in today and get that fixed, I'm gonna work on this bow and be dumbfounded for 5 hours and then realize, oh my gosh, it's just this one little piece I gotta twist.
So I would agree with you, but the problem is Jake was helping me because Jake's real good with boats. And I didn't even really know what I was looking at, to be honest with you. I mean, I learned a lot about the motor now, but his dad came over after. He's like, man, you're going to have a pretty big charge on you. Because, I mean, 5 hours, I mean, and yesterday with the tow and everything, I was like, I think that's where the problem is Jake knew what the problem was the whole time, but he carried on the whole operation until he finally had enough. So his hourly rate would keep on going up and I'd have to pay more. And yeah, I think it's all Jake's fault in reality.
Yeah.
Not to blame it on.
Right.
But
Okay. All right.
before we end it, again, Gibraltar Duck Hunters Association Youth Hunt, they're hosting it at the Point Waterfall Festival this year. Bring your kids down. They have, if you sign them up, they usually give duck calls away, goose calls away. They get a whole bunch of gear. I'm kind of jealous that I never got to do it. I believe you could probably find it on their website, to be honest with you. And if you don't know the website, you could look it up on our Facebook, our social media. Make sure you get your kids signed up if you're local. It'd be a great time. I did a little goose calling thing last year. I don't know if I was any good with it, but I tried. GK donates a bunch of calls to them, so it's a good turnout. They have hot dogs, they have food for the kids. It's pretty awesome, and we'll be down there. Oh, before that, did I tell you I got a wedding the day before the festival?
No,
yeah,
you didn't.
Yeah, I just kind of found out about it, and it's pretty sweet. But yeah, we'll talk about that. Just dropped the bomb. Yeah. But all right, yeah, I appreciate everybody tuning in on this week's podcast. We'll talk to you on the next one. The 4th of July is coming up, so everybody be safe out there. Don't blow your hands off from fireworks. Make sure Uncle Terry backs up on a scooter or whatever it's got to be. Yeah, don't be Trav getting stitches in your hand. But I appreciate everybody tuning in on this week's podcast, and we'll see you guys on the next one.